Time to discuss the best decision that your Premier League football club have come up with this summer. Which club are we talking about first?
Straight into Arsenal, Theo. And you know what? William Saliba, massive player last season, persuading him to sign another contract. That will be massive, Theo.
I'm not giving my Arsenal pick until we get 10,000 likes. The rumour is I will be doing a Wimbledon vlog this year if we get 10,000 likes on this channel.
You're going to watch Wimbledon play football?
No, obviously tennis, you mug. Into Arsenal, the best decision they made was doing their business early. Declan Rice, Kai Havertz, to have them for a full pre-season means they'll be fit and ready for the tactics for the start of the Premier League season. That, for me, is a bonus over all the other Premier League teams. They're going to look fit and ready for the first week. Well done, Arsenal.
A wonderful player, Theo, but 100 million, that's expensive, surely.
Yeah, I know, they've spent like 160 million on Rice and Havertz. It's big cost, big pressure, but big reward. If it comes off, that'll be a Premier League title.
I'm sorry, but I disagree. I thought William Saliba last year, Theo, was one of the most immense players in the Premier League, and to get him to sign up is fantastic.
I think it's a bigger decision to get Havertz and Rice in an Arsenal shirt than it is to extend Saliba's contract, where he's going to get one anyway.
Aston Villa, and for me, it's bagging Yuri Tielemans on a free transfer, Theo. This is a player who cost 45 million quid 5 years ago to Leicester City, Belgian international. We know how good he is. Great business.
You know, Yuri is one of the top 10 players in the hardest leagues in the world to have lost the most value in 365 days. But the best decision that they've made this summer is a new crest on their kit. I love it. It's a throwback to the year they became European champions. And what a better year to do it than when they qualified for Europe.
You've lost your nut, Theo.
How have I lost my nut?
Changing the crest, that's something and nothing. Bringing in Yuri Tielemans is proper.
Changing the logo, it's the little things in life. They've done it, nobody else has. It looks classic, it looks brilliant on that new shirt.
Bournemouth, I had to go with the signing of Justin Kluivert from Roma, Theo. 24 years old, comes from an amazing footballing family, Patrick Kluivert and others. Think about this lad, Theo. He's played in 4 of the 5 major leagues already, and now he's going to play in all 5. Now, he has to stick with them for a few years. I'm not sure it's going to work, but it's a good gamble.
In my opinion, it's bringing in their new manager. Now, everybody hated it when they sacked Gary O'Neill after a pretty solid few months and keeping them more than just promoted. They went on a great run. People were saying Bournemouth were going to be the first team down, 20th place we both predicted last year. But after doing research, that's their best decision this summer. He took a second division team in Spain to the semi-final of the Copa del Rey and Rayo Vallecano, I don't even know how to say their name, to the top 10 in La Liga. And that is a project manager. That's someone of a level of a football club, similar to Bournemouth in the Premier League, who can take them forward.
3 words, gone by Christmas. Let's have 20 quid on that. That manager is
20
gone
quid
by the end of the year.
And a like from you guys.
Brentford, and it has to be the signing of Nathan Collins, Theo, who was well liked at Burnley and at Wolverhampton Wanderers. Now, in the past, I thought he was too expensive, but I've been proven wrong. Having a couple of good centre-backs is crucial. It's the spine of the team.
He's a good player, and he's young, and he's Premier League proven, but you've missed out on the main reason, the best decision Brentford have made this summer, Dad.
Go on.
It's signing Romeo Beckham.
Okay, so you're going to sell a few shirts?
Yes! It's a moneymaker.
So I get criticised for Kluivert, and you're going for Romeo Beckham. Sell a few shirts, yeah? Get a bit of media interest. Yes
no, it's not what he does on the pitch. And your argument for Justin Kluivert is that he could be very good.
So
my argument for Romeo Beckham is he's going to be crap. He's never going to play a minute. He might come on for a couple minutes at the end when a game's decided. Romeo Beckham is not there for the Brentford. He's for the B team, but he's going to sell shirts. Romeo Beckham is a genius move from Matthew Benham, the owner, who knows what he's doing. He's all about the numbers.
By your logic, Brentford should be signing Britney Spears. Honestly, sign Britney Spears, sell a few shirts, you'll get a few headlines.
Dad, I'm making a good argument here and you're just bringing up Britney Spears.
You're not. The players that play for Brentford should be good enough to play for Brentford.
This is ingenious for the revenues and the profits. Tell us in the comments. Smash the like if you agree and comment if you agree with this man.
Brighton and Hove Albion, it has to be signing João Pedro, Theo, from Watford. This is a lad, okay, in the Championship, he got a contribution every 3rd game. He's talented, he's young. If it works, very good move.
For me, the one best decision Brighton have done is keeping Roberto De Zerbi, the manager who's brought so many successes since Potter walked. And look, he's had a lot of interest at the start of the summer. I saw names like even Chelsea trying to replace their manager again from Brighton. That would have been madness, but we know the interest he's had from clubs all around the world, teams looking to step up. He was actually kicked out of Ukraine when the war kicked on, found a new job, and it's all blossomed since then.
Yeah.
He is a wonderful manager. He knows how to spot a talent from a club abroad. He knows how to communicate to players straight up, straightforward, exactly what he wants, tactic-wise. And he's made the likes of Alexis McAllister into a player that's signed for Liverpool. Caicedo going for nearly 100 million. And the fact Brighton have kept him for this year is crucial. You know why? Because they're going on a European tour, and they couldn't do that without this man.
Burnley, and it's got to be the permanent signing of Jordan Bayer from Borussia Mönchengladbach. Now, last season he was on loan, Theo. He's a centre-back, and I've already said how important it is to have good centre-backs in your team. That's the best thing Burnley have done.
It's good, but it's not great. Do you know what great is?
Go on.
Signing my brother, James Trafford.
Hasn't happened yet.
I don't care. It's happening. I'm in the know. I called up my brother. I'm joking. But if this deal happens, James Trafford is going to be good enough. When Ramsdale moved to Arsenal, everyone was like, oh, Sheffield United got relegated. Oh, he's not going to be good enough. What I'm trying to say is, James Trafford, give him 2 years. I can see him in an England shirt. He's in the final for the Euros, and he's kept clean sheets in every single knockout round. He's doing everything he possibly can. I think he's ready for the step up to the Premier League. I'm so excited to see how this deal happens with Burnley, and I think it's the best business they've done with Vincent Kompany. He even went to visit the last game with me. He was in the director's box with us.
Chelsea, the best thing they've done so far, Theo, is sell players. I'm talking about the likes of Kai Havertz, Mason Mount, etc., Kovacic.
Wait, hold on, Mason Mount?
That was a good deal for the selling club and the buying club, but overall they brought in, what is that, 200 million
quid? So who's got the better end of the deal? Chelsea selling Mason Mount for 65 million or Manchester United buying Mason Mount for 65 million?
I think it's a good deal for both clubs.
Chelsea, for me, I didn't want to get Mount involved in this. It's a fire sale deal agreement with Saudi Arabia. Everyone's hating it, everyone's saying, you know, Saudi Arabia this, Saudi Arabia that. Chelsea found a loophole and they absolutely smashed it. They found an agreement where they could get rid of their deadwood for great prices. They got rid of so much crap that they don't want that for next season. And people are hating. They're hating because they ain't it. That was great business. Best thing they've done all summer.
Crystal Palace, for me, it's getting Jefferson Lerma from Bournemouth on a free transfer. Now, this is a player, Colombian international, 100 Premier League games, I think, appearances, and you've got him for nothing. A really solid player.
The problem is they haven't done much else on the transfer window. So for me, the best decision, it's not the transfer window, it's not hiring Roy Hodgson, because for me, that's not enough future projection. It's the kit. I love their home shirt. That is the best decision they've made all summer, Dad.
I love a nice kit, but if you get relegated, I'm not saying Crystal Palace will be, if you get relegated in a beautiful kit, everyone is unhappy. Everton, the best thing they've done is sell Moise Kean to Juventus for 30 million euros. It didn't really work out for him in the Premier League. He's been pretty good in Serie A. Good luck to him.
I don't know how they got that much money for him.
These days, the inflation, look at the price of a Kai Havertz,
I think Juventus as well need to cut down. They're probably paying less wages. You know, that's not really a big signing for them, but they want to, he's 23 years old, they want to see the best of him. It's creating a stadium plan to have that ground complete in 2024.
Yes.
Because that's amazing work. The quicker they move into their new ground, the more they can move on as a football club. It looks beautiful and incredible. That is the best decision they've had. Just to work hard and keep grafting and setting up planning dates for that new stadium. I can't wait to see it.
Fulham Football Club, the best thing they've done is completely opening the new stand, Theo. Last season it was open, but it wasn't completely full.
Oh yeah.
This is going to add 4,000 or 5,000 new tickets.
I forgot about this one. I'm really pleased you put that out. That's going to be next season.
And some of these tickets are some of the most expensive in the Premier League.
But they come with food and drinks and have you seen the hotel they've connected?
Nice.
That's going to get incredible revenues, and not even for football. It's Thames facing, bang in the centre of London. One of the most lovely locations in the whole of the city.
In the whole of world football.
People, I think it's going to be like a 4 or 5 star hotel, boutique-y, because it can't have that many rooms, literally on the side of a stadium. I'm going to do a review of this place as soon as I can. The biggest decision I've given is keeping Mitrovic.
Yes.
You've got offers from all around the world. You see how well he played last year. He's going to have people knocking, but Fulham have closed it off. They've said, look, he's staying. We're going to keep him for the rest of his contract. His heart and love is in that Craven Cottage, Fulham Football Club. He's going nowhere else. And I think that's the best thing they've done. The fans know how important to have him in the club.
Yeah. Liverpool Football Club, the best thing they've done is sign Alexis McAllister, Theo, for 42 million euros. That is very good business. You're getting someone with loads of Premier League experience. He's a World Cup winner, Theo.
Yeah, for me, it's buying midfielders, because we can't just talk about the man himself, McAllister. We've also got to speak about Dominic Szoboszlai. Them two pieces of business is completely boosting their midfield. It's what they needed to do.
Yeah.
They actually hit the release clause of Szoboszlai too, so it was like 70 million. He does like to slow down games and control the tempo a bit more, which might affect Liverpool's style. He might have to adopt a bit like what Grealish did when he first joined City, but I'm so excited to see him in English football.
Luton Town, and they've done a lot of good things this summer. And one thing, and this is not my choice, they've not taken a betting sponsor for big money, and I respect that. Also, they're updating their ground, but I've not gone for that, Theo. I've gone for keeping the core of the team together, the promotion-winning team.
I rate that.
And in particular, Tom Lockyer.
When you've got a core, you can believe. And do you know what else you can do? And this moves me on to the best decision that I reckon they've made this summer, is not ground sharing.
Yes.
The Premier League asked if they could ground share in Milton Keynes. That would have ruined Luton Town. Their fans split around that stadium, maybe not filling it every week because it's like 28k, which is a lot more than 11k what they have right now. Part of the reason they have such good home form and the reason they get results is because people don't like going to Kenilworth Road. It's horrible, but it's their horrible. They know how to graft results. So starting next season in that stadium is absolutely vital.
Manchester City, and for me, it's all about stability. It's retaining your current squad there, but not just the squad, retaining Pep Guardiola.
Yeah. Gundogan was the core of the team. He's the captain. They've lost the captain, Dad.
They have, but that's one player. Bernardo, as of today, is still there, Theo.
My best decision for Manchester City this year is exiting the Declan Rice bidding war. For Arsenal, it's exactly what they needed. Thomas Partey had to be replaced at some point, or fitting a way to have him as their first choice. A big ball-winning midfielder who's it's a statement, you know, to really push them forward to potentially a Premier League proper title race. You know, in at the end, he's the sort of player that changes that. For me, at Man City, they didn't need it.
Yes.
They've got Calvin Phillips, who they barely used. They've got Rodri, who's played almost every single game. Why did they really need Declan Rice?
Anyone who's been to an auction has to know you've got to set a price that you don't go beyond.
As much as you want a player, you can't go beyond that on the other end.
Correct. Manchester United, it's the signing of Mason Mount. Now, nobody talk about his shirt number. That is nonsense. That is irrelevant. He is a very good
MM7.
English footballer. He's young. He's an international. His output is great. He's had a poor season at a mess of a Chelsea squad. This is an excellent signing.
The pick I've gone with is getting new Qatari owners. Now, yes, once again, it's not confirmed, but it's if you keep up with Twitter, you know they're getting it. He goes by the name of Qatari Royal Sheikh Jassim. He's a multi-billion-dollar bid that's been accepted, and that's happening this summer. And I think it's a better option than Sir Jim Ratcliffe. And if this really fully happens, it's the best decision probably ever in the last decade of this football club. Manchester United are well known for being one of the biggest top 3-4 football clubs worldwide. They need the top 3-4 owners worldwide. They don't have that right now. So imagine the windows with spending for Mason Mount and spending for Onana. Imagine what they can do when they have even bigger owners. They will be unbeatable. They'll be back in the picture for Champions Leagues in future years.
Newcastle United, it's all about bringing in Sandro Tonali from AC Milan. I think that is an excellent purchase of a very good young international. And to broaden that, Theo, I like the way Newcastle are developing their squad. They're doing it incrementally. They've not gone in and splashed the billions.
Right now, the best decision, I agree with you, Dad, it's buying Tonali. That midfield, Bruno Guimaraes, Joelinton, Tonali sitting behind them, it's amazing.
Nottingham Forest, and I might get roasted for this, but I'll say it anyway. It is signing Chris Wood. Now, who I know is 31 years old. He's getting on a bit. He was on loan. They liked what they saw. The thing is about this lad, Theo, he scores goals. Every fourth game, he'll get a goal. And he's a big, physical, aerial presence.
He already knows the dressing room. He's been in training for a year. So when they loaned him from Newcastle, it was kind of like a trial run.
Yeah.
And that option to buy, overall, he's not your future. He's not going to bag you 15, 20 goals in a season, but he will bag you important moments. My actual best decision for Forest this summer is not signing anyone new. Now, I know what you're saying, they signed Chris Wood, but they had him already in the dressing room last year because he was on loan. They've signed no new faces, and that's vital. They've already got good relationships. They already know each other. That was the problem at Chelsea. Everybody just felt like the first year in nursery when you're looking around cluelessly, like, oh my God, like, mum, dad, come in. You know, it's a funny comparison, but now Forest are like, yes, we've survived with this team. Imagine how much we can do when we step in week one, all of us, tactics on point, morale on point, everything is fluid. Steve Cooper has a real project, and actually not buying anyone is the best decision.
Sheffield United. Now, I have to ask one of my friends who supports Sheffield United, and he said Jack Robinson, Theo, who's one of those squad players, just signed up for another 2 years.
Okay.
It's all about keeping the key players in your team. Of course they have to strengthen, but I've gone with that one.
I've gone for a very interesting point as their best decision, and many of you might disagree with me on this, but the manager has come out to the press and said every player that we sign, and by the way, most of their business is going to happen over the next few weeks. It hasn't happened yet. They've got a very thin squad. He said every player must agree to one clause in the contract, and that's a relegation clause. Yeah. It's so clever because Sheffield United previously, with Chris Wilder, got relegated. Then they had a problem with a lot of their players who were stuck there because they didn't have a relegation clause, and clubs weren't willing to pay extreme amounts for a player that wasn't worth that value. So now if they come, they're already preparing for relegation. Yeah. They're preparing for the worst. Lots of clubs down down there don't like to think about the worst. They just want to think about the best, spending money, looking at all the good stuff. They're thinking about the worst outcome already. So they might survive, they might not, but overall the club will be safe.
Tottenham Hotspur, this is very easy. It's picking up James Maddison for, I think, 46 million euros. That is a fantastic piece of business.
I love that business,
because
yeah.
for 5 years he's been immense at Leicester City.
But Dan, what's the one position Tottenham mean more than anything else?
Defenders.
Yes, it's a centre-back. Going by the name of Van de Veen, the Wolfsburg centre-half, Dutch, powerful, aggressive and fast.
Yeah.
What more than all of that can he do? Well, yes, he can play with the ball out with his feet, so him next to Romero is generational. They might even get another centre-back, that's even better. So Spurs signing Van de Veen for me is the best decision they made this summer.
West Ham United, I've gone with the sale of Declan Rice. Obviously he's a wonderful player. As a fan you'd want him to stay, but getting over 100 million for him is wonderful business, and sometimes you've got to let these players go. Aston Villa let Jack Grealish go.
They did.
2 years later, they're in a better position because they took that money and they bought good players.
For me, with West Ham, it's pricing an entry-level adult season ticket for the going rate of £299. That's
No
unbelievable.
way. That's brilliant.
That's the same price I pay for my Bolton season ticket. This is Premier League football we're talking about. Reducing it to that level is something they've done for the coming season. They're also adjusting the West Stand to make it more of a traditional feel. Now, that's been an ongoing problem at the London Stadium, so also working on that. They're answering the fans' requests, and it's great to see.
And finally, Wolverhampton Wanderers, it's the sale of Ruben Neves. And again, you want him to stay. He's a brilliant player, but he was in the last year of his contract. You've got 55 million euros. Good business.
Yeah, for Wolves, a lot is going to be changing this summer, and having a team refresh is my best decision. Well, they've already lost Neves, Adama Traore out of contract, Moutinho, 36 years old, out of contract. Connor Cody, getting older, and they even sold him for 9 million. A lot of people questioning that. What they focused on is keeping the likes of Max Kilman. What you didn't know is that Napoli bid 35 million euros. They wanted him as their Kim Min-jae replacement, but you know what? The owners and the board stuck strong. They stuck to their plans. They were like, look, we're going to keep the youth, we're going to sell the older guys. That's what Wolves needed to do, and they're doing that. Now, it's hard for me to comment because I don't know most of the ins yet. Very exciting times for Wolves. They need to survive, they need business, let's see it. Well, I hope your job of hitting the like button won't be as tough as Lopetegui with the amount of signings he needs to make to get out of that relegation battle. Please subscribe. We need to get to 1.6 million, and if we do it, I will go bold. Remember our £20 bet?
Yes, the manager of Bournemouth, who nobody knows, will be gone by Christmas.
Top 12, mate. See you in a bit.